Going ultralight on trail has its advantages and all, but sometimes you want a little more comfort while you're at camp. For this particular hike, me and my girlfriend Paige are doing our ultra comfort setup. We got some really cool things that you guys are gonna like. Curious about anything? We got links for it down in the description. Some of the things in this gear list are a little bit more on the budget side, and other things we've questionably spent a little bit too much money on. But we'll talk about why we did for each thing as we go through the whole gear list. But let's get started with the outside of our packs, and we'll go through everything we brought with us for today. So starting with our backpack first. This is one, if you're regular to the channel, you've seen before, is my Southwest 55. For a comfort pack, find one that carries weight really well and it fits you correctly. Won't talk too much on this one because I've talked about it multiple times before in the past. Here's a link up top where you can check out my whole review of the Southwest 55. And it's 3 years later and this thing's still going strong. This backpack has become a bit of a safety blanket for me throughout the years, and that's why I probably should switch it out, but it's been there for me and it's been good. Mine, I'm not replacing it. Up next is our tent, as you've probably seen behind us already. The tent is huge. It's the Durston X-Med Pro 2 Plus. And we actually have it's a freestanding tent, but we have it set up on a tent pad. Some people would think it would be kind of difficult to do, but it didn't take me too long to figure out how to set up. I had it set up quicker than Paige had dinner going last night. The inside of the tent fits two 25-inch wide sleeping pads, which is really nice. Gives us lots of room inside there. It has large pockets inside where we're gonna be able to stick our stuff throughout the night.
It also has really large vestibules, so we can keep all of our stuff near us without it necessarily taking up living space inside the tent,
which is nice. And also when if it's raining out and whatnot, then you don't have to worry about all your gear getting wet and you just store it inside. Probably not gonna have to worry much about rain though if you're on a comfort hike, because today it's the middle of a heat wave. The X-Med did cost a ton of money though. I think it cost us roughly $1,250 Canadian, which is makes our wallets just as light as our base weight. So, you know, there's that. Perks of bringing something like a nice lightweight Dyneema tent that allows us to have more payload in our backpacks for bringing more luxury items that we got going on later. And with a two-person tent, I'm able to pack it in. Paige doesn't need to pack anything for the tent, but her pack was heavier than mine though.
Oh shush.
So I'm really excited about my sleep system. I got the REI Helix sleeping pad. It's pretty comfortable actually, but I think I just weigh a little bit too much for it. I probably just sag all the way through to the bottom. I weigh roughly 240 pounds, so it's probably pushing the limit for that sleeping pad what it's designed for. I got the MEC Deluxe pillow. That thing's super comfortable. It has a nice foam topper to it, and it's all wrapped up in some sort of like cotton-like material. Only problem with it, it's not removable, but it's nice and thick. It's tall enough to be comfortable for my shoulders, which I really appreciate. To keep my pillow secure in place, I used my Sleep Summit sleep liner and actually threw it over top of my pillow and my sleeping pad. Together that kind of locked everything in place. Another cheat code for sleeping in a tent, if you're struggling with all the noises going around you, is earplug. Getting a nice pair of earplugs really helps putting your mind at rest while you're in a tent. I'm always listening to all the noises thinking it's a bear about to chomp on me.
Yeah. Also sometimes your girlfriend snores. It's nice to be able to tune it out.
And then I just use my classic lightning liquid quilt. That thing's starting to fall apart with all its uses, but since we're in the middle of a heat wave right now, it actually works fine for me.
Ooh, I brought a pair of Cabela's thermal socks, which were really nice, that I slept in last night. I ended up taking them off in the middle of the night though because it was so hot. They're pretty heavy, which is why I don't usually bring them with me.
If you want to see Paige's sleep system, I got the video for it linked up above here. We did a deep dive into her gear for that video. So what's a comfort hike without bringing a camp chair? I got this really comfy camp chair from Living Basics, which is also rebranded from the same one that Heel and Ox sells as well. It's a really cheap chair for around $80 Canadian, which Heel and Ox also brands for themselves. But it is slightly on the heavier side at just under 2 pounds compared to closer to being on the 1 pound range. I think it's really comfortable though, and I'm a bit of a heavier guy and it holds my weight well. It definitely has a few tips though.
He only tipped once in a whole hour, and it was only because he got really excited about what he was talking about and you fell over.
If you get really passionate what you're talking about, you might fall over in the chair. And then Paige just brought a classic sit pad. It's been nice and comfortable.
You've probably seen this before. Dakota usually carries this, but because he was bringing his chair, I upgraded.
It's great. It also can double as something to elevate your pillow at night, but luckily I have a nice thick pillow that I didn't need to worry about that.
Another one of my comfort items, which is usually my only luxury item that I bring, is my Kindle. I usually read it before I go to sleep too in the tent. It helps me fall asleep, but I didn't need it last night because I was really tired.
This part looks really weird on camera. Look at that, I can make camera adjustments for my fishing rod. We're up in an alpine lake, so what better time to go fly fishing. Rather than spending most of our time on trail, we're spending most of our time at camp on this trip. I decided to bring my fly fishing rod setup with me. Caught a nice tasty trout this morning. My whole fly fishing setup with my fly rod's not in this travel case is under 2 pounds, which is really nice. Highly recommend it for someone. I've been backpacking for years and I've never fished before, but realized I can link these two things together, and it's actually a lot of fun when you're out on trail.
This is a platypus quick draw filter. This is a safety blanket item for Dakota. It works really well. It works better than my Catadan B3. These are my Tevas, my camp shoes. So this is what I wear when I get to camp and I take off my hiking shoes.
Then you have me on the other hand. I have comfortable hiking shoes, so I don't need to bring camp shoes.
Brought my swimsuit with me on this trip. I don't usually do that because it's extra weight and I would usually just swim in my shorts and a sports bra. Thought it might be nice to have it for this trip. So it's just a basic H&M black swimsuit.
So for a comfort trip, it's good to always capture memories, so we brought a lot of camera gear with us through this trip. I brought my Sony a7 IV with my Tamron 17-28 lens and my 70-180 lens. I like that combination. Gives me a nice wide range for landscapes, plus ability to zoom in for wildlife and whatnot too with the 70-180. And it's nice and lightweight. I brought my Peak Design tripod. Paige also brought her tripod too for doing her Instagram videos.
Optex black.
Compared to most tripods, it's pretty lightweight. What else did you bring?
My Polaroid camera.
You're able to get some really cool photos with that too. Those are always good to have the printout lasting memories. Not everything has to be digital.
So usually we would use a stove this size for car camping, but we brought it with us this trip because it's easier to balance pot on. And I actually cooked pancakes on it this morning, and we cooked the trout that we caught on it, and it worked really well.
I also brought my BRS stove as well, so we have 2 cook systems going. My BRS is super lightweight when we just need to boil water for our boil and bag meals or ramen. It's nice to have that one too. So we don't spend so much time just dinking around camp. We can get food cooking when we're hungry after hiking.
This is pretty heavy though, why we don't normally bring it with us.
But it's nice when we have a frying pan. I also picked up a GSI frying pan for this trip because I knew I was gonna be catching a trout. No, I didn't. I just got lucky. Frying pan has a nice collapsible handle, so I was able to fit my pack nicely as well. Paige's pot is a 1100 milliliter Toke pot.
Works really well with this if it's perfectly on it.
The lid for it doubles actually as a pan, and Paige was able to make some perfect pancakes out of it. It was really tasty. Okay, let's talk about camp clothes now. For extra camp clothes installation, I brought some Titans with me. They're pretty old. They're from Nike, but they're comfortable. And I brought a fleece layer with me. I brought my MacPack, Polartec, Alpha Direct, yada yada. It's nice. It's warm and it's breathable. It's nice for hiking out when it's cool out. It's hot out today, so we don't have an issue. I brought my Decathlon Trek 100 down jacket. Brought that thing back to life in a recent video washing it. Really helped it actually. I thought the thing was dead after my neglect of washing it with regular detergent wash. It's nice and puffy and kept me warm. I brought my Frog Togs rain jacket because it wasn't supposed to be raining out today, but I haven't needed this trip. But it's right for a nice windbreaker. There was a chance we were gonna do a mountain summit today, but we decided to go fishing instead.
I brought all of my things. I brought fleece leggings, my fleece sweater, my Decathlon Trek 100 puffy, and my Patagonia rain jacket because I don't like to be cold, even though we're in a heat wave and I'm not gonna need most of the things that I brought.
Even though we're in a heat wave right now, that means there's no cloud coverage going on. But at night it actually got down quite cold because we're a little bit higher in elevation right now, which we weren't exactly expecting that. So it's a good thing we packed some extra layers with us and we overpacked, but we ended up needing it. So those are our comfort items for this backpacking trip. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like. If you want to see things on the other end of the spectrum, check out this video up over here on the sides of ultralight gear for fast packing.